Okay, we're back, YouTube fans. This is the Creepy Doll Man back with the final conclusion to part 3. It is October the 19th, 2017. Time is 2:54 a.m. Well, like I said in the last video, that I said that something got in bed with me. It somehow got underneath my covers from the far end of my bed end. It somehow got up underneath the covers, and I felt something, putting its arms around me, and it was caressing me. Excuse me. And so that's kind of weird. The next night it happened. It did it a second time, but it got more violently when it put its arms around me. Then it tried to pull me back as I tried to turn my head when it woke me up. That's the second attack I would consider when it was doing that. Now the third time I got attacked is when I felt something twisting my wrist as it was kissing on me and try to break my wrist as it was twisting my hand down trying to break my wrist. And that's the third attack. The fourth attack was different. This problem didn't happen until after cousin Bobby, got into it with me, on Christmas. He got into it with me on Christmas, before Christmas, a week before it. About 4 or 5 days after that, earlier, I was attacked. I felt something jumping up and down on me, knee me in the stomach as it was trying to choke me underneath the covers. Several times repeatedly, woke me from my sleep, and you couldn't see in this room because it's very dark. It woke me from my sleep. And, several other things. I thought it would end at that. Meaning, I thought that would have been the end of it, which I'm afraid wasn't the end. It was after the New Year's. Whatever, it came back in his room, and it did return. So, it came back. And in returning, it did come back. Whatever it was. It scratched on my bedpost on my end of my bed. And it was sending me a message to let me know it came back, whatever it was. Whatever, if it was a ghost or a demonic spirit. And then early in the morning, before I woke up, something was hitting on the end of my bed when the light, was daylight, and it was like hands slapping on the end of my bed. It woke me from woke me out of my sleep, and I quickly turned around. I've been hearing up and down my bed patter of hands, like a child or something pounding on the bed. It was ridiculous. Underneath the covers, I heard pounding on my bed, and it kind of woke me and it disturbed me. So this is the Creepy Doll Man's true statement. People don't believe that these things can attack you, and the fifth attack was different. The scratch was about as long as my finger. But before all this happened, it just it happened for a reason. Later down the road, I think I told you how I got the name the Creepy Doll Man. You don't remember, if I didn't say it in the last video, I'm going to say it in this video, that I got it from a woman that I met at Kroger's when I showed her the first 2 videos of my, ordeal. I showed a couple more videos I had recorded down the road of my incidents and stuff that went on here as part of my proof and my evidence. Well, she gave me a nickname. It's one I'm famous for today. She called me by 2 different names. The last one is the one I decided to pick because that's the one she called me. I think she called me that name first. She called me Creepy Doll Man. And then the next time I went back, she called me, Creepy Doll Guy. So I went by the first name that I'm more famous for today, Creepy Doll Man. And I'm just been this way today. Now the woman who worked at Kroger's, where I live from, she no longer works there. Now she's either been fired from her job for something, or she quit her job and went for another job, or she just disappeared within thin air. And that's the true story, how I met her. She introduced me to another woman named Teresa, After that, I don't know what happened to her. She like disappeared off the face of the planet, or she's probably went to another job one. I don't know. But that's my true story. And other things have been happening around with the rest of the dolls too. I believe that Cheyenne has woken the sleeping giant within this whole very room. All the dolls are now coming alive. Besides her, there's 66 more dolls that's coming alive. Besides her, so she be one of the 67 out of this. Meaning there's 66 instead of 66 dolls, there are 67 dolls in total. I also have another one that doesn't have a body yet, but when I build her, she'll probably be number 68. But I'm not worried about that. But, they had been communicating a certain way, and communicating with our spirit friends part 1 to part 5, which ain't out yet. There will be a part 5. I have shown in part 1 to part 4 how they are communicating. This ordeal happened through one of my, demonic dolls I have, which is a possessed doll. Her name is Jasmine. If none of you know her, you'll see her in the very first episode of Communicating with Our Spirit Friends. I called it something else. It's not called Communicating with Our Spirit Friends, Part 1. That's what it should have been called. But she communicates with us, and she told us a lie the first time before we did the video. That this is what we did between my Creepy Ghost Hunter Jr. and me, investigating how they communicate with us. It's the old-fashioned way of Morse code. They, instead of doing it through the light, they have done it through the smartphone. On my first original smartphone that I have, something I've never seen. It's only affecting the smartphone. I have recorded to a secondary smartphone to show it off on the video. It's concrete evidence that that's how they communicate with us. And my Creepy Ghost Hunter Jr., I'm not going to lie, is my cousin. And he's the one that does all the translation back in Morse code, what they say, tell me what they say, by speaking for them. I sometimes wonder if they're using him to speak through him. Meaning not, just because he says he knows Morse code, I don't think he truly does. It's possibility they are, bonding with him or possessing him in order to speak through him. And that's probably how they're communicating through him. But, I have other dolls. I have been attacked a 6th time, multiple times. The last one was by number 67. Jason the Possessed doll, which he's a demonic spirit. He's 6,800 years old, which would be 6,800 to some people it doesn't understand. Before he attacked me, I got him from my cousin as a gift. And I told you how I got him. Sad to say, I brought him home, and it's about 11:30 or nearly 12 o'clock when he attacked me. The light flickered really hard, and it knocked out the light real fast, and it came back on, as well as it affected my stereo on the clock by knocking it out real fast and come back on. It knocked the power out on it, and it came back on. I lost my, clock on the radio, and I had to reset it. And then I had a scratch came up for no reason on my hand. I know I didn't cut myself or nothing, or scrape it with nothing, and that it's been on me for about literally 3 weeks or more. And hopefully say please check out all my episodes for further new episodes that come from the Creepy Doll Man. Please subscribe. This is the Creepy Doll Man's true story. Once this is over on this real reality challenge, he will reveal his real name. But now, before I leave, let me finish off this. There's a lot of us out there competing that owns a haunted doll. Around the world, there's one in every part of the globe here. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm known to own this doll, Cheyenne the Haunted Doll. She's the most famous one of them all. There's other ones around the world that owns haunted dolls. There's different people out there we're competing against. But I ask this question to those, don't matter if you're famous or infamous, on your haunted doll. Who has truly all three, meaning curse, haunted, and possessed doll? Who has all three of them? If the Creepy Doll Man had to raise his hand, it would probably be one person that would have them. There are very few people having all three. Meaning all three, meaning curse, haunted, and possessed doll. If anyone has that, they are lucky to own that. Creepy Dollman state he has all three. He's got one cursed doll, 4 demonic spirits living in 4 of my dolls, which we call possessed here, and the others are haunted. But we don't know about the one that sits in the big white box. She complains that threaten killing people and all that. So I would guess she would be another demonic doll. So she would be number 5, I would say. When I call Jackie. I said Jackie the haunted doll, but she might be Jackie the possessed doll. And the rest are haunted dolls, but you ain't counting the spirits that dwell in this house as well. I said there's 666 bad spirits within here, as well as 777 good ones. So you got a lot of people are trying to compete with others. It doesn't matter how many you have. It's judging who has all three. There may probably be more people out there owning more than one haunted doll. But do you have all three? And it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, or middle class. Do you have all three like the Creepy Doll Man? That is the Creepy Doll Man's ordeal challenge to you guys. So Creepy Doll Man stating the challenge to anyone owning a haunted, possessed, or cursed doll. The challenge is this. Do you own 3, meaning all 3, like the Creepy Doll Man? Cursed, haunted, and possessed. Creepy Doll Man has all. So this is the Creepy Doll Man saying, please subscribe to all my episodes to come. And this is the Creepy Doll Man saying goodbye and God bless you all.